morning, everyone. My name is Shandog, currently of Terra, and I will be your host today. The chemicals definitely enter. Anyway, we don't want to play it too long. We want everybody to be able to see this, not block it from other countries because of the music content. So hopefully they won't be upset about the short clips as much. How are you all this morning?
On top load.
Wonderful, thank you.
That is good to hear, good to hear. There's a lot of crazy things happening in your world today, and it is important to remain grounded and balanced today, especially. Music down, please. What? Okay. Anyway, we have today Roxanne, Noah, Mikey, Mpaku, and Caroline. How are you today, Caroline?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very well, very well. Very well. The tigers on your planet are beautiful. We have tigers, but they're mostly bigger, and you would probably think they were scarier. My planet meaning Era. Anyway.
Do you have many other animals that look similar to ours?
Many of our animals resemble what you would call, in your collective, for the most part, mythological creatures from your ancient times. There are some animals that are very similar, such as trout, salmon. There are similar things as lobsters, except ours grow much bigger, and we don't eat them anymore. Elves never really ate them to begin with. It was always the reptilians that ate the insectoids or crustaceans. But that is their natural order until they ascend further, which is what they are attempting to do currently. And on our planet have already accomplished, and others have accomplished this too. Together, Pleiadians, Elves, Lyrans, Reptilians, Insectoids, and humans alike. And what you would call something similar to your Alpha Centaurians. But we are all Pleiadian on Era. You could even call us Earthlings if you so choose. If you picked up a handful of dirt from Era, you could justly call it Earth. Earth. Era and Terra are brother and sister planets, cut from the same stone, so to speak. And there is a third planet that you have already been in contact with, that is the mix of the two, in a sense. It is the planet you have contacted through channeling already. The conduit has the Barnard system.
I have a question relating to that concept. There's a lot of talk of Earth 2 and other planetary bodies on the other side of our sun. Is this the planet that you're on about, or is this?
Look at it as if we were on the other side of your sun. That is one, in a certain sense, that is more accurately what is happening. Many of you have been taught to believe when you are looking up at the stars at night that you are actually looking up at the stars at night. You ever pretend for a minute that maybe you are looking down and the ships you're seeing are actually the tops of them and not the bottoms? And we are looking up at you when we are on them? Not me specifically, but other beings.
I've had thought processes about a similar kind of
I'm
way.
wondering how you all figured out how to stick to a ball. You're actually on the outside of the human colony known as Terra when you're walking on the surface.
The way I picture our planet is there's an activity called a Diabolo, which is like a wooden kind of disc that is attached by string, and people use it to create. They use it to chuck in the air. They move it around, and it slides up and down the string. The way I see Earth is kind of like that disc-shaped pattern, with like two bowls on each outside. But then that also makes it difficult to create the inner sun concept within that. I'm having trouble trying to piece together different beliefs that I have and scrapping the ones that I don't feel are relevant to me anymore.
Yes, the shedding.
Yes, yes. How would the Earth look to you if you were looking at it from, in your perception, you say that you look at it from below.
I'm
How
trying
would it?
to remember. At first, I saw your sun, and then I saw your blue and green glow. And it is not so much as putting in coordinates for a colony such as Era 1, it is more as if to press the magnetic hyperdrive, it goes to the center, the strongest pull of the universe, wherever it is required. We did not choose to come to Era. We did not choose to bring these to Era. Your choices have gravitated us to it. Does that make sense?
In some ways, yes.
You have drawn first contact again and again and again, and you experience first contact over and over and over. You just do not really remember in the sense that you understand the word remember.
Yes, it seems that the perception of a human memory seems to be a little bit blurred out, and we associate our memories with things that we can definitively put our fingers on that have happened. Whereas I've been noticing that memories have been coming in as little ideas or a feeling inside, or even something that hasn't necessarily happened in this particular form, but is still affecting me in a physical sense. How would you describe the overlapping of these different memories and their effect on our current experience?
Well, I'd say, first of all, stop calling it dreaming. Your words are getting in your own way. You think English is a good language? You should try learning Elvish. Maybe you understand things better. You know what would help if you learned a little? Where are you from? UK?
Me? Yeah.
Well, Latin, you know, little Latin.
I do not, but I have noticed that I've been following an excitement into the older languages like Gaelic and Latin, and
Yeah.
even certain Middle Eastern.
Good if you wanted to learn Gaelic. Perhaps that means you wish to go to Ireland.
Very much so. Very much
There
so.
you go. Follow your excitement. We just found out where it truly lies. Your home is where your heart is.
I have always had a kind of an obsession with Ireland, and after visiting parts of Wales as well, I noticed that there's aspects of Wales that are there that I really wish to explore in a more detail.
All right. You're talking about remembering, right? You understand that you go to Arrow 1 every night, right?
Some nights I do, yes.
So you don't go every night.
Not every night. I have other matters
What
to
happens
attend
to
to.
your team when you don't show up? Why do you think the Order of the White Dragon always wins?
Because there's I'm only aware of 2 members so far.
You
Although
need
I've
to
been
find your team. You gotta
That's
wake
true.
them up. It's called fishing for souls. This conduit can only remind so many. The ones that are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. Are there any more questions for me?
Are you in Ireland at the moment?
No, I'm sitting right here.
Okay.
In Connecticut. Part of the connection between the accent and... It's easier for me to talk like this because I'm a wood elf, and the Celts, or the Celtics people, the druid, shaman, you know, those men. Those are actually the remnants of the wood elves in your planet. Did you know this?
yes.
Did you know that all the stories of vampires are actually stories of blood elves? Did you know this?
I've also heard that there was I believe the Sumerians had a being that visited them, which was a depiction of a reptilian entity that also used to consume human blood, animal blood.
Similar to the idea of a night elf. They come more from the dark side, in a sense. The first race was the dark elves. But you call them many different things, you see. You can look at them in many different ways. I know my own history. This is my timeline that I'm speaking of. You don't understand. When I wake up in this body, I have memory of this life and my own. But there are some things that I cannot permanently remember, like exactly what I look like now. I can, as I describe it, I remember. But if I don't say it out loud, it doesn't truly, really exist in the now. If you understand, if you catch my drift.
Yes, yes, I understand. I'm not sure about others, but I definitely understood that.
Thank you. There is a very good picture. Mikey, are you there? All right, I guess.
I don't think his microphone is working, so he's just been chatting.
All right, I see. Roxanne, do you have any questions for me?
Stand by.
One moment, one moment, one moment. I always thought that was funny with Bashar. Supreme consciousness, and he has to keep saying, one moment, one moment, one moment. It's because of the conduit, not for him.
No questions appear right now, but I am most intrigued, so please continue.
Yes, there is an actual being who wishes to come through. It is a human. And have you ever spoken to a Men in Black before?
I have not. Anyone else out there?
No.
I have a feeling I have, but my
I had a feeling
memory
somebody did.
of it, my memory of it seems to be very, very blurry. I remember talking to someone and then turning my back and disappearing, pretty much. And then I woke up back before I'd met them, and they didn't come back into that particular reality. It almost felt as if I'd switched into a different timeline after speaking, or before speaking to them, and then reverted back to the timeline I was on. It was a very strange experience, but I'd like to know a little bit more about it, because they seem to be quite elusive, and many stories of these men in suits they seem clouded. We have probably a different perception of who the Men in Black are because of Hollywood movies and because of stories that we have been told.
All right then. I couldn't find my other black sunglasses. They would have been more fitting, but apparently this agent doesn't mind the red. Greetings, my name is Agent N of the Men in Black. How are you all today?
Good, thanks.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
I trust the weather is pretty stable in most of your residences right now.
Excellent, thank you.
Is this true? Yes?
Oh, yes.
Good. I am just looking at the weather system monitor, and it seems that all of you are in the areas for the most part.
Where I am, we have a very, very large dark patch of clouds appearing. I have
Yeah.
I have slight suspicion that it's some kind of residual leftovers from the Cloud Kingdom thing.
Somewhat.
Yeah. I'm not too sure of the
It is
specifics.
still difficult for the people of Earth to understand what's going on with the weather and things like that. So until the knowledge seeps into the collective a little more, it's difficult for us to answer specific questions about why certain things are happening. Know that it has much to do with your own government. They understand what they're doing. On a lighter subject, are there any other questions?
Yes, what is your mission?
Our mission?
Yeah.
To defend the galaxy from the evil Emperor Zurg. That's the
Love that.
I
That's
thought
that's a great mission statement. I love that.
Are you all scared to ask questions?
I have a question relating to what we've been told in Hollywood. There was a very large insect-looking being that appeared towards the end of the first movie, I believe.
Yes.
Are you able to perhaps say a little bit about that particular being?
Oh, insectoids in general?
The image of the being that was represented.
Yeah, they don't actually act like that.
Yeah.
That was... Well, what is your question about that being that he represented?
Where did forgotten the word. The creative idea for that being, where did it come from?
I believe it came from a cockroach. Wouldn't that make sense?
Yes, yeah.
I wasn't being sarcastic, I was just...
Yeah, no, as soon as you said it, the image of the being came straight back to my mind. And,
yes. Similar, you can almost imagine any insectoid sentient being. They look very similar to their smaller quantum versions. It is easy to imagine a mantis being, yes. They look almost exactly the same as they do as a praying mantis. Their colors may be different and they may have patterns, and they may even be wearing some sort of clothes, who knows? Don't think that bugs don't camouflage themselves too. There are many times gigantic insectoid beings right in your backyard, staring right at you. You just think they're trees or something along those lines. They're your friends, they're your protectors, they're your guardians. Do not be afraid of the woods, do not be afraid of the dark, and do not be afraid of your dreams, as you call them. In the movie Men in Black, they talk about us running on, I believe, a 36-hour day. Yes. Usually, I don't go to sleep that much. I usually run on 90-hour cycles if I can afford it.
Where are you based?
Where are we based? Well, we're based everywhere, in a sense.
How about you
What are you
personally?
asking where? Oh, me personally? Classified.
Okay, good answer.
I apologize. I will say on the western part of American continent.
Are there quite a lot of you? Have you got some in the UK?
We are everywhere and we are nowhere. Do you understand? Are there any other questions?
Yes, why do people fear you?
Fear us? I have no idea why they would ever fear us.
I sensed that from a different hangout that you have a neutral vibration.
A neutral vibration. Do you know what neutrality even is? From my understanding, there's no such thing as neutrality. You can neutralize for a minute or so, but the neutral state is not a natural state for any being, any form of consciousness.
In some ways, would a neutral state be considered as indecision to
A neutral
particular?
state would be considered absolute darkness and nothing else. No space or time. Do you really want to live there? It is living without compassion. I do not mean to offend, I am just being honest. Perhaps you would like to learn more about extraterrestrial races.
I have a question relating to your organization. It seems that in some ways the Men in Black are a government body. Would you consider yourself as a faction of the government, or would you consider yourself outside of
On
it?
no government list, we straight don't exist, no names and no fingerprints. Are there any other questions? Let's see. What can I tell you that you don't already know? The fact is you already know everything. Many of you, especially in this room. Let's see. Who have I met here? Yes, Daniel, you know I've met you. Do you remember me? Perhaps not. Obviously, you shouldn't. Roxanne, too many times.
Wow.
Have you met me? Gabriel.
I have. You have met a man in black, but not me. Well, in a sense, you've met a whole crew of them. A cleanup crew. You had a lot of information for them, so they got it and then left. Of course, by your agreement. Caroline, how is your sons doing?
Wow.
Oh yeah, they're doing well, thank you. I'm gathering you probably have met them, maybe.
I have met the younger one. I found him. Never mind. He was playing in the woods with some of his friends. They were out after curfew. I had to bring him home for you.
Okay. But I haven't met you. No?
What does that?
I haven't met you myself, no?
I've been to your house, but you've never met me. You were sleeping.
Oh.
I haven't been inside, but I brought him home.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. The ET race was Yael.
Okay.
Are there other races of beings that work for the Men in Black organization, or is it just a specific group?
We are a reflection of the world we defend. And the galaxy.
Why do you go in and interview us in our homes?
Excuse me?
You said they came in and interviewed me.
Interviewed you?
Yeah. When I
No.
asked if you...
To talk to you.
Yeah.
This is not an interview.
Okay.
Yes. One cannot, how you say, interview for a position in the Men in Black.
I mean, if they want specific information from me, that they asking me question.
Well,
That's what I meant.
it was more that you had questions and some information that was relevant to us.
Yeah, so then it was I interviewing them.
Interview is not the correct term for anything that happened that night. That's why I'm getting a misunderstanding of what you're saying.
When the humanity meets an agent for the Men in Black, what would generally be the cause for this communication between the two parties?
What would you suppose would be the cause? I mean, I could tell you, but do you understand what we do?
In some ways, I believe that the cloud of understanding between myself and the agents is a little bit diluted by media propaganda, I'd say, and in some ways I'm a little bit not fearful, but slightly uneasy by the presence of certain agents within the organization, I suppose.
Which organizations?
That's the part that I need to clarify, really, is...
You couldn't really call the Men in Black an organization, more of an orchestration.
I have I have feelings that
I
there are other groups that operate in a similar kind of way to how you say, but aren't necessarily working for the benefit of the communication between extraterrestrials and the terrestrial races.
the benefit is that humanity can continue to communicate with all these races, and the people that are not ready to face themselves ask to be neuralized in a sense. So you ask to be forgot.
That's what I can't. That's what I can't. That's what I'm having trouble wrapping my mind around. Is if I were to create the interaction between a Men in Black agent, I wouldn't necessarily wish to cease remembrance of that meeting. I would prefer to know what I
You
was.
understand why such a meeting would actually occur? Do you understand? Have you ever seen any of the movies of Men in Black? They are very similar to what is actually going on with our orchestration, our... What is the best word? We do have a headquarters. It is not what you think it is.
What I mean is why would I ask for the neuralization to happen after I'd had
Have
a?
you ever seen something you couldn't explain? That you had no reference for, and to know that it did actually exist would actually disrupt your everyday, so to speak, waking reality in a eventually somewhat negative way. Wouldn't you choose to not go down that path in your life if you had an easier way to make it less of a struggle for you, a more supported existence?
In some ways, yes.
In some
Although I
ways,
feel
or
yes.
there's only two ways, yes or no. You said yes. Know that.
What I don't understand is I've met beings from not necessarily earthbound beings, but I've also met beings that have potentially been here longer than our race. Why would I?
You are some of those beings.
Yes, yes. Why would I choose to forget the meeting between a being that could potentially help me along the journey, though?
They already doesn't. If you the idea is that you choose to forget consciously doesn't mean that it did not happen and you did not learn and change from it. Just the memory that you have of those moments have shifted into a perspective that you were interacting with a dream state and you don't remember. That's what it would mechanically feel like, and you would experience it like now. Until you fully integrate it, and when you integrate it, nothing, no memory can remain hidden from yourself. Most of this will happen in 2017. These memories seeping in will begin rapidly. They've already begun some much faster than the individuals themselves thought would happen.
What year did you say that it would?
Do not worry about years, months, days, weeks. Those are just buttons on our...
Bottom list.
What do they call them in that movie? I forget. The deneuralizer. That makes sense. They're just buttons to us. They do not run us. Time is an illusion, not an illusion like most others could say. I call them illusions. You are simply implying that time runs the way you say it runs. Does not make it so. You are implying that you don't remember your dreams. You are implying that you don't remember who we are. A neuralization doesn't even need to be an instrument. It could just be boom, and then we're gone. Or we're still right in front of you. You just don't see us because you said, "Make me not see you." Ooh, we touch your forehead, and we're still in the room. You just forget you talked to us and forget you saw us. At least that's how easy it is for some of us. Like, I learned from the I can't currently name them right now. Oh, yes. I know where the ancient wisdom came from. The technology that is in the movies is actually much older than what we use now. What were we speaking about, Daniel? That you said you want to remember, but you can't.
It's not that I cannot. It's more the understanding of why do I not remember the actual meeting, but I remember.
You need to discover that answer for yourself. The idea of deneuralization is that it is self-induced, self-acceptance. Only you can unlock. You don't even really need to know why. You just need to remember. Is it relevant why if you can just have the memories instead?
In some ways, yes.
Well, then those answers only lie within yourself.
Would it be like a memory, or would it be like it's happening right now?
Everything you experience is imprinted into your body. Even if something happens, and then you rewind and pretend that something didn't happen and you have a different memory, if you go back a month or a day before, you wake up thinking it's the next day, because those are programmed memories of the now. A good movie for understanding closer the Men in Black movies mixed with, I believe the movie is called, I don't remember what the movie is called. It's about these beings that live long and watch over humanity, and they have hats and they can go through doors. And does anyone know what I'm talking about? Relatively new in your time. And he's like a governor or something, and he sees them by accident. It's one of the angels, or they're not really angels, but they're like agents. And he steals one of their hats to, skip through and change the blueprint, or change the path that he's taking. Has anybody ever heard of this movie? Am I making any sense?
I haven't heard of it.
The concept rings a bell, but the main idea of it, I'm not sure about the name of it.
Did Nick just gone? Yeah.
Is Nick there?
He's muted himself and...
No, it doesn't look good.
Or the rest of the Men in Black muted.
Could be.
The name of the movie is called The Adjustment Bureau.
Hmm. Oh yes, now that I remember that, I did see that.
Does that clear up why you might forget something? Something you were not meant to see. It is irrelevant for your... If you saw something, it could upset your natural pathways that are for your own health. You need to flow naturally. You cannot... You can try to skip a stone over water if it is already shaped by water.
Yeah. I had some Pleiadians that woke me up in the middle of the night, and then they just disappeared after a few seconds.
Yes. Are there any more questions?
Hey, Agent M, I do have a question, and it's a request, actually.
N for night.
Can
Did
I
you-
give... It's a request. Can I give Dan a perspective of this idea of the memory? Because you've told it to him a couple times, and I understand why, the way you said it, but maybe a furtherment will give him a little more clarity so he can put this at rest inside of him. Does that make sense?
Dan, do you feel that you are concerned
Yes.
about these things?
Do I feel I'm concerned or he's concerned?
Daniel, do you feel you are concerned?
It's not necessarily concern. It's more a lack of understanding why I remember being neuralized, but not further from it. I can remember seeing the being, but that is it. So surely, if it was in the best interest of keeping the peace, the entire meeting would have been erased.
No, that is incorrect. Does not mean it was irrelevant for you to know something happened. The fact that you know something happened means that you remember all of it. You're just not sharing it with yourself. We cannot dwell on our worries. I will go to the next question.
Yeah, sorry. Would Roxy be able to explain?
Perhaps this is a conversation you two should have in individual space.
Sounds like it. Or there might be an impediment upon your certain question right now. So Daniel, in a private session, if you choose, this is Osifius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. We will impart upon you these reasons. So in that perfect now, I will see you then. I bid you a good day. I don't know.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That is good to have deeper conversations like this. It will perhaps inspire your memories further, and you will see why it will become more relevant as you speak of it to certain people that can share their experiences as well with you, similar ones, that understand them on other perspectives, to shed light on your own memories that you already contain. There is another question, perhaps, from someone who hasn't spoken. Jasmina, did you have a question?
Hello. I don't really have the question, but maybe if I met you, maybe if you can answer that.
If you have met me, I have not met you in person. Where do you live?
In Europe.
Yes, that doesn't really narrow it down.
Slovenia.
What was it? Romania?
Slovenia.
Slovenia. I've been to Slovenia, but I have not met you. Do you
Yes.
feel that you have an experience that you don't quite remember?
Not really.
All right. Did you have an experience you wanted to share with us?
Do I?
An experience that you would like to share with the class?
Do you think I do?
Well, there's a reason you are here.
Yes, I guess it is. Maybe I had a dream. I have some weird dreams once where I was in a lake with lots of people. They weren't moving. I have swam there in the lake, and then I go in the deeper water, and there was sharks there, and the lake spit me out together with one shark. Maybe you can tell me what that means.
I didn't catch the last sentence. What was it?
The lake spit me out together with one shark.
The legs?
The lake.
The lake
Yes.
threw you out of itself with a shark?
Yes.
Interesting. From how long ago was this?
About 3 weeks.
3 weeks ago. Were you in your human form still?
Yes.
Were you in human form when you were in the lake?
Yes.
And by what means were you ejected from the lake?
Like there was like a force. I don't know what it was, but it was force of the lake.
And was this in your country?
Yes. It was. I know where the lake is because it's very near me.
Yes. Do you have a husband or boyfriend?
No.
No. I understand. Interesting. I don't know if this was... Do you know if you have any hybrid DNA?
Yes, apparently I'm a triple hybrid.
And what are the hybridizations?
A Nubian, Pleiadian, and Lyran? No. I forgot. A Nubian, Pleiadian, and something else. Lyran, yes.
Was the shark dead?
No.
But it was out of the water?
Yes.
Out of its natural state?
Yes. The lake spit us out into a wall.
Did the shark go back into the water?
I don't know anymore because the dream ended.
You were... Well, the Anubian and Lyran is a potent mix. That shark, in a sense, perhaps you may, let me see, I don't want to say anything until I know for sure what this was. This is a very interesting experience. I don't want to change it for you if you like how it was already.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
If I like it.
One moment, then the second question. Yes. So the idea is that you were hunting. And the shark was your dinner.
I don't eat meat.
Exactly. But the Nubian and Lyran side does. Have you ever met a cat or a dog that wouldn't eat meat?
No.
Exactly. Your higher selves are consuming things in different dimensions in order for your body to grow appropriately and evolve rapidly and ascend. It is not always beneficial for you as a physical body in your waking state to eat meat, but it is important that your Lyran and Anubian sides are nourished as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. That helps.
Yeah.
So it is okay.
I didn't want to disturb you because you don't really have memory of consuming this because you were human when you were ejected from the so-called lake. But usually sharks don't swim in lakes, but that's beyond the point. The idea is that you just perceive yourself as human, so you wouldn't have to experience any of the parts that you would perceive as negative or unpleasant. So in your dream, you were swimming with a shark, and then you both got thrown onto the beach, and then you woke up. That was the most pleasant way for your mind to integrate that form of nourishment. You understand?
Yes. But what if I don't agree with cruelty?
Cruelty?
Yes.
In what way do you mean cruelty?
Like killing animals.
Killing animals. Have you ever killed a bug?
Yes.
Then you are a hypocrite.
I know.
So let's continue with the next question. I don't mean to be criticizing, I am just making observations.
I know. Thank you.
My question is, are all Men in Black hybrid?
Are all men hybrids? No. But there's very little that is not, in the grand scheme, hybrid in the universe. The universe itself is a hybrid. So God is a hybrid. God is all that is, being everything and nothing all at once. So, yes and no.
What is yours individually?
Excuse me?
What is your hybridation?
My
DNA
hybridization. I don't see it that way. It is not relevant for me to look at any one part of my being as more significant of a hybridization than any other part. Everything a human body does imprints memory. That is actually what you are. You are physicalized, crystallized, experienced, molded and shaped as a human form. Everything you do hybridizes you. Everything you see or hear or smell or touch or think or don't think.
Are you actually human?
Yes.
Male or female?
Ma'am.
Okay.
But you have the ability to shape shift?
Shapeshift? No.
Don't?
I could use technology to appear different. if I thought it was relevant. Usually it is not.
So we can see you as something else, like a teddy bear
My
or
Earth
something.
lineage is... Is that what you're asking?
Say that
I
again, please.
be mostly looking Caucasian to most of you.
Okay.
Can you share anything I asked the man in black when I met them?
Anything you asked. You asked for... I see. You asked for... Really what you were asking for is perspective.
I missed it. It was a car. What did you just say?
You were asking for a higher perspective, basically,
Okay.
on things like your hybridization, like the reptilian side and things like that.
Yes.
And did you get your shark tooth necklace yet?
No. Waiting for it.
The truth behind the shark tooth necklaces, many of them on your planet, they are not what you think they are. Teeth are crystals. And the fact that through these channels we have heard that most dentists are reptilians.
Yes. Have I gotten any more DNA?
More. Most of you people want more and you don't even use what you have. So no, you can't have more yet.
No, I haven't asked completely for more. I wonder if I had done it.
Done what?
This time. Ask for more alien DNA.
No. It doesn't... You didn't ask for that, no. When you're in your higher state, during your waking state, you perceive it, memory, as a dream, but you perceive it and then you're talking to higher beings, and you all do this so often and forget it so often, it's just the idea of not forgetting it. You blink your eyes and remember that they're right in front of you, stop telling yourself they're not there. You neuralize yourself every time you blink. Whatever you call it in your country, in your world. That from the movies, deneuralize. Whatever. Is there any more questions?
Yes. Are you an ally? Are you an ally of human colony?
Ally of human colonies. Do you perceive them as a threat?
Receive who? Men in Black, you mean, or what?
Well, I hope you don't see us as a threat, but do you see colonies as threats?
No.
So
No.
then, of course, we're allies.
Okay.
Are there any more questions?
How do you get around? Is it through just with technology, or like you've got cars and stuff like that?
I have a couple cars.
Is it a bit like the Men in Black films? Do you have like blacked out windows and stuff?
Cars
Or-
way cooler. I don't know if I can tell you the model. No, I can't. I will tell you in another channeling what my card model is.
Okay.
We get a new model every year. I get one in a week. I can't wait. You get a new one depending on the new responsibilities you will be given for this next cycle, this next orbit. You get a promotion every orbit.
What is your part in First Contact? Do you have any part in that?
But I have a serious question, please.
Can I ask you, do you live your highest excitement?
Of course. How do you think I became a member?
So everyone can be a member.
Many are called, few are chosen.
Were you chosen?
Apparently. I will return in one moment.
Hi, Brian.
Hello, Brian.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Where have you been?
Oh man, my weekend has been so busy, so hectic.
Missed you.
So,
Really missed you.
yeah, thank you. I missed all you guys too.
You've got the shine, light on everything you come on.
Aw, thank you. All of you guys, you're such an inspiration. I love all of you guys.
So, that day we were talking about Men in Black, and here he is.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, let's shoot your question.
Oh, I have no idea. I'm kind of hesitant to ask a question that maybe some of you have already asked.
Just tell him you just came in. No problem.
Hmm.
So they're benevolent.
What's that?
So they are benevolent.
Yes. Who's coming through Nick right now?
Men in Black.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Ah, cool. So what did you guys ask?
Wow, you gotta go through the tape.
No, just summarize it.
He's a benevolent being. He's for to protect us.
Did they say where they're from? Are they on this planet working with the government or anything, or is
He's
it
on,
different?
he's on the west side of USA. Didn't say where. Didn't locate himself. And they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And they change their cars every orbit. He's staying almost every week.
What
What
is
else?
their main mission on this planet?
To protect.
Protect?
Hmm.
To protect who?
Us human beings.
Interesting.
Dan, join in.
That's fascinating. I always thought that they were suppressing information, but I guess they actually are helping in a way too. I kind of see it from their eyes. I have to.
This
It's
is
interesting.
fine. They don't give us any hints. They're too natural and they're too neutral. They don't give us any vibration. They're working in a low key, so
Yeah.
they don't show anything.
They don't show any emotions, do they, that much?
No.
I've asked that question before about the emotions and stuff. I've I've always been curious about the Men in Black, you know, from the 40s and 50s when they first came on the scene. They're actually recording, but I didn't know. Curious.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. So how are you guys all doing today? Who else is here?
Good.
I'm brilliant, thanks, Brian.
Hey guys. Is it Jasmina? How do you say it?
Yeah. Yasmina.
Jasmina. Nice to meet you. I don't know if I met you yet.
You too. I saw you on the YouTube often. So
Okay.
I think I kind of know you. So.
Okay, cool. That's cool. Yeah, I've been around for a little while, so weekends are the most hectic for me.
Yeah.
Usually I can be on here through the week, but weekends, yeah, it just depends.
Yeah.
Are you from the UK?
No, I'm from Slovenia. I thought that like 5 times already.
Oh, okay. Everybody's asking.
It's really
Oh, nice to meet you. Hey, Roxy.
Hey, baby doll, what you doing, Sugar Plum?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was stressed out with school for some classes, so I said I gotta take a break and jump on here. See if you guys are on.
Yes. Get away from the 3D.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Someone
My mind goes crazy. Ah!
NTM! It's a twister, it's a twister!
I definitely need to get out of the mind.
There you go.
Just thinking makes me go crazy now. I don't know about you guys. Do you find it harder, like in day-to-day things, to think?
Well, let me give you this perspective. I gave it up. I don't think. I get in the moment and I follow the fun. And in that, it's effortless. There's no thinking.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
That makes good sense.
Yeah. I'm giving it up. It doesn't help. It gets in the way. It's like, oh, maybe we should do this, or what about this, or what about that? It's like, who the fuck are you? Get out of here.
Yeah, it's like it's like we worry too much when we think.
Oh yes.
We worry way too much when we think. It's like we have to do this, we have to do that. It's like this has to be done. This has to, that has to be done. Yeah, man, it's just strange. Strange.
Yeah, you're giving it up. You're letting go of it. Awesome blossom.
Thanks. Oh man. Yeah, that's the one thing. It's just trying to control the mind. It's just too much. Too much energy.
Right.
Energy.
Yeah.
I realize that.
Makes your brain hot. That's it.
It does. That's a great way of looking at it.
Where did Nick go?
I jumped on. Yeah, I jumped on. All I heard him say is, "I'll be back."
Okay. Hey Dan, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
When do you want that info?
Whenever. That's fine.
Okay. Well, like I said, I don't want to step on Nick's toes, so I don't know if he wants us to impart that here.
Yeah. Seems that we've all got to create our own belief on who the Men in Black are.
Well, of course.
And I think my biggest one is I've let the movies seep into my mind a little bit too much, and it's choosing which aspects of the beings to keep as a belief and which ones to scrap off, because I'm currently in the disbanding of older beliefs and trying to organize everything into a more creative sense. and I don't really wish to perceive the Men in Black as the like shadowy government alien kind of. They're gonna come and get you if you witness a landing or something like that. I don't want to see that anymore. I want to see them as helping us understand that there is a lot more going on. There is more to these beings than has been told to us in the media. There's more to the Men in Black than has been told in media, and I'd like to shift it from a slight paranoid mindset of them to a more welcoming and appreciative mindset of them.
That's a really good way of looking at it, Dan.
All right, darling, let me give you this. Here. You want to do that. You keep saying it this and it that. There is no it, and your want is your choice. So in that perspective, think about this. The reason why truly you didn't get the understanding in that moment of why you zapped yourself and didn't give you the memory is for this moment here. Look at it. You have 1,000 choices in front of you, so make the one you want. Period.
Looking back on it, I honestly am not sure if there was a reason for the zapping. I think it just.
Wait a minute. The reason for the zapping is for you to challenge it right now. The Men in Black came into the collective to give the awareness once again of Men in Black. And now as you're expanding, you're finding the vibrational truth behind them different than what the movies are. So once again, don't live in that now as a truth. Live in this now according to your own gauge, your own measure of your own self and your own truth, and expand from there. You don't have to measure any truth against anyone else, because who are they? Their own individual universe. Choose yours. Are you following?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, looking back on the memory, I think the memory was just of the zapping. So it was like a created memory of just being near them that has spiraled off to this particular now. Yeah.
Yes, and you followed it. Yes.
Yeah, like I honestly do not think that there was anything else that actually happened on that particular meeting. That it was just Men in Black there, zap, but remembering that I'd seen the Men in Black.
It was only a memory giving. The occurrence didn't actually happen. It was a memory given to spark a certain timeline. Makes sense?
Yeah. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome, darling.
How are you all?
Greetings, dear one. This is Brian. Who am I speaking with?
You can call me Agent N, as in Nike.
Agent N.
Yes.
From where are you from, dear one? Are you from this planet?
Yes, I'm human.
What is your mission on this planet?
My mission is to we are the first, last, and only line of defense against the worst scum of the universe.
Do you work more as individuals or also as a collective?
We always work in pairs, sometimes individually by ourselves, but usually always have backup ready.
Why has information been suppressed when it comes to human beings understanding extraterrestrials and ships? Suppressed.
I believe the idea was compressed.
Compressed. Meaning
information has been given to you, you just need to integrate it.
Okay. So you are also protectors of humans?
Yes.
Hmm.
We protect... The men in black are more than just this planet, but the ones on this planet protect this planet, yes.
When you say protecting from whom? For protecting from what exactly?
Mostly protecting you all from yourselves. That is the best way to describe it.
So if we're needing protecting, is it because
You
we...
call upon us when you perceive something that you wish you didn't.
I see. Because of our mental state, it would be too much overwhelming for us to handle.
Sure. That's what many of your excuses are. We don't judge, we just help in whatever way you require.
For those who are choosing to really open up and understand it,
Will never see us.
we'll never see you?
They would have no reason to. Why would it be relevant? Until the time when usually people like that end up working with us.
When you say working with you, you mean, but the people that are, the humans that are choosing to work with you is always to benefit humanity.
Yes.
So we're hiding from ourselves because we
You're
don't...
not hiding, you're just... Sure, you could say hiding.
In a way. So the humans don't realize how powerful we truly are as a collective. So we play these games with ourselves to not see our brilliance?
No, in order to see it brighter.
See things brighter. Interesting. What is your preferred mode of transportation?
My vehicle. I have more than one, but I have one that I use to travel cross-country rapidly.
Yes. Is it the dark tinted... Do you guys have like Cadillacs, black cars, black SUVs?
They're always black, usually, yes. Mine has some gray.
The technologies that you guys use, is it man-made from this planet Earth, or do you have extraterrestrial technologies that you work with?
Of course, it's made from Earth, but usually does reverse engineered technology from extraterrestrial.
Huh. So you're here working with us to assist humanity, to help only for those... So my thing is, so you're in between. You are individuals that work together and separately.
You could call us in between, but you are in the in between.
Okay.
We protect the in betweeners from going down.
Down where?
Down a path that they've already gone down and know that it's a dead end.
Okay. So if people want to express themselves and talk about extraterrestrials out in the public, I realize that that's really difficult because a lot of people are going to believe what they want to believe, and it doesn't matter. It's how, I guess, it's how the message is developed, how it's delivered, which will open people's minds and curiosities. The thing is about bringing curiosity to people. So this is why we do it. We share the information because it's time. People need... I believe... I guess you're right. I guess it depends on the individual and the groups who want to open up and to share this information. And for many people, it's really hard to accept because of what? They're so used to the 3D mundane things of life.
Some people are reaching for the diamonds, right? On your planet, they like diamonds. We all like diamonds. Diamonds are forever.
Something of value.
But where are diamonds?
Diamonds. You
Where do
mean
they
that
live?
which we value?
Where do precious stones stay? Usually deep within the earth, correct?
Right.
Deep in the dark places.
Is a diamond a crystal?
A diamond is a diamond.
But how can you use the diamond?
Whatever
As
way you
more
do it.
like, not as
We use
money,
a lot
I
of
think.
diamonds in our vehicles. We do. We don't use gasoline. We have a gas tank and can store things in it like gasoline if we had a relevant use for it.
But you don't fill up like regular people do with gas, right?
Of course not. Do you think we have time for such things, or waste of energy, or we would ever support such things?
How can this information, can we use more of this information for the rest of humanity, the big corporations that like the control? Why control? Why
You are
not?
your corporations,
Yes. So if
as
we,
you are your government. If you do not buy their products, they close their doors.
I understand. So it's not up to you, it's up to us as a collective,
That's
right? I understand.
always up to the people.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah,
a movie like called a Bug's Life with ants
You,
and
you
grass.
weren't from,
Yeah,
yes.
you don't want to allow the big oil company to buy up the company that makes nature like any stuff.
We would prefer them not to destroy another Gulf, if that's what you're asking.
Right,
No,
because you're living upon this planet also. Everyone is. We're all a part of this. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Gabriel.
you and me, we are part of each other.
Right.
But not you, just you and me. Everyone.
So you guys have these technologies that humans, the average human, doesn't possess yet until what, another 50 years from now? So,
That's not necessarily true.
okay. But I'm not saying to take it, but I'm saying, is there much that you guys can do to, I'm going to say leak, but that you can share with scientists to bring it more mainstream? These devices, these things that would free up humanity.
Your awareness when you contain the vibration.
Okay.
They already exist on your planet.
Right.
You already have light cities sprouting up around your planet that you are aware of, and in your own country.
I'm starting to see the bigger picture now. Yes.
You are raising your vibration, shifting into a reality where these things always did exist.
We've always been told that the men in black were always those of the suppressors, those that wanted to suppress information, but then when I see it through your eyes, I realize that it's not that you're suppressing, you're something. There's something about you.
We are something, that's one thing that's...
Very interesting. Very fascinating.
Thank
Very
you.
mysterious, but very loved.
Mysterious even to us, trust me.
Yes. The ones off-world, not so much the ones in our government and the people that are working around, but those are the off-world ones. When did they first make their appearance on this planet? Have they been around for thousands of years?
Well, in a sense, the Men in Black as a idea exists all around the whole galaxy.
Right, I understand.
Humans and other beings alike.
Right.
Right now, most places don't require them.
Hmm.
One planet that does have a large, relatively large
Base.
of operation
Yes.
on that planet in the Barnard system.
Wow.
Star,
Yes.
whatever you call it.
So you guys, the ones here on Earth, on this planet, you guys have access to the ships and can go to planet.
We could.
Interesting.
But who wants to leave Earth, anyways?
I've been to a couple places. I've been to the moon. I've been to Mars. I like the name Barsoom better. There's
Yes.
cities on Mars.
So what is your average day like here on Earth then? What do you like to do in your free time? Or do you have free time, or is it always working?
Today is a pretty nice day. I took a drive back over to the East Coast. I'm going to go to... There seems to be some unauthorized exposure in the beach town of Mesquamaket, Rhode Island.
Hmm.
I'm going there after this channeling. I just got a report.
Interesting. That's fascinating.
It appears to be Claire's. This is very important. I must go soon.
Claire's. What are Claire's doing up on the planet right now?
That's exactly what I'm going to find out.
Well,
They're cloaked as humans, but they're on... Oh. I see what's going on. Never mind. It's not as dangerous as I thought. A little...
so do you have full telepathy?
Telepathy? Sure.
Wow, fascinating. Are you your being? Did you your creation itself? Do you have a soul essence? I mean, are you actually full human, or are you a hybrid, or were you created?
I am human. As I said, the hybridization part, in my perspective, is irrelevant.
Okay. Interesting. It's fascinating. Yeah, the whole thing is just fascinating. So you can scan other people. Do you have to be in a certain distance, proximity to?
Well, obviously, if I'm right in your physical presence, I can do a lot more.
Okay. But you're always there to benefit and to work with the human in some way.
Yes. We are human. I am human, so of course. You're always working with your family, even if it seems that you are playing different ends of the field.
Right.
You are all playing on the field, therefore you are united. Because playing out of energy.
Yes. Fascinating.
It is unfortunate when in major sporting events teams win by cheating, such as I have noticed in a couple of the World Cup games.
It's very competitive. It's always us versus them.
The competitive nature of our society is destructive.
It seems like that, even on Earth. It seems like
Very
we're raised.
violent.
Yeah. We're raised at an early age. It's like us versus them. I'm greater than you are. Back and forth, back and forth. It's a constant battle, you know.
No pain, no gain.
Yes, yes.
Nonsense.
What do you admire about the human being?
Our endless potential for the expansion of our consciousness imagination.
Very good. What is the one thing that you can't stand about it?
Can't stand.
Or that just upsets you or angers you?
You know what really grinds my gears? When I can't find the droids I'm looking for.
Fascinating.
We use droids all the time.
When you say droids, do you mean the ones that the average men in black with the pale skin?
Not necessarily.
That have no emotions, to display no emotions, don't blink.
Well, you would perceive the droids as not having emotion, but that does not mean they don't.
But they don't have a soul essence then, are they? They're created, aren't they? Meaning,
in order to be
biological.
alive, everything has soul essence, life force energy.
Right. Okay.
For it
So
to operate on its own artificial intelligence, it must have an individuated soul of some sort.
Yeah. But our computer is that too, so but
AI.
not
Yeah.
individual. But
It is collective and individualized. You have made it such.
Okay. So you guys as a collective, you guys are working with a very advanced AI then, aren't you? Artificial intelligence?
We don't really call it artificial intelligence. I was just using that for your understanding. But
Huh.
I don't know how to explain some of it for you to understand. Some of our droids could look like owls.
Wow.
Some could be like protocol droids. Sometimes can be human cyborgs, sort of not flesh. They would appear that as more of a hologram. Come as translators to some of our calls.
So mostly your missions out in the public, out in the open, is it mostly to gather information and that's it?
To document and intervene if necessary.
Who do you take orders from then? Who is your commander or your superiors?
The leader of the Men in Black, is that what you're asking right now?
Yes, the one on this
His
planet,
name
or
is
do you...
Agent J.
Agent J?
J.
Fascinating. Does Agent J work alongside our military or above in a way?
That cannot work alongside the military now.
They don't?
You are talking about the military-industrial complex,
Yes.
MIC. The MIC and the MIB are very different.
Okay.
The MIC is more your government. The MIB is more the future of your governments.
So, did you guys time travel back in time to be here?
I have time traveled, but right now this is present day.
Because you said our future, that yet our future is still, you know, I mean, it's in the now.
All I'm saying is that you are collective is seeping into these perspectives. They're
Fascinating.
containing vibrations, so you're shifting into realities where these technologies and more contact exists.
Interesting. Well, thank you. That's all the questions I have. Thank you so much, and you feel free to come again and visit. Thank you, my friend. Much love to you,
Sure.
to your people.
Love to you as well, brother.
Thank you.
And remember, the good guys dress in black.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there any more questions?
I have a question. What do men in black think of human colony?
What do we think of it?
Yes.
Which human colony are you talking about?
The ones over here on Earth.
Yes, Earth itself is a colony, you understand? So that's why you're not being very specific.
Okay, the website, the members of human colony.
Are you referring to Brickfit near?
I
the
think she
Go
means
ahead.
the web page that Max created
Yes,
together
the
with Jim.
Brickfit near colonies.
Yeah, but she means the human colony community we have created that is right here.
Yes, I understand, but this is actually not the human colony community that you are interacting with currently. This is a different collective. The human colony collective more is like what you're talking about, the website HuColo, yes?
Correct.
That is a different community than the present Testament. You are a member of two separate communities. They are learning to integrate as one, slowly.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. What do I think about both of these groups? I think they are doing great things.
And what do you think about the Gukfigner colonies?
What do I think about them? I'm not sure what their purpose in Port Royal is. They're very unclear in why they've come. That's why they haven't landed yet. In some senses, we have allowed many of you to go there, so it's not that we don't trust them. It's just that we are sending you in order to learn who they are and why they've come. It's not as much that you're waiting for them to bring you up as that they're hesitant to bring certain individuals because it's not that you're negative or critical, it's just that you will be harsh with your perceptions if you were to remember clearly what was going on. Because of the human nature in your societies, in our societies. Is there another question?
Oh, yeah. I have a question relating to certain scientific experimentation that's been happening on Earth at this current moment. There's been a lot of budgeting in America by DARPA about human and animal hybridization. I don't want to kind of get anyone into trouble by diving too deep into it, but
You can't get anyone in trouble. I already know all these things.
what would be the purpose of these plans to?
Talking about making chimeras.
In a sense, yes.
You already do this. You've done it forever. That's what you are. In a sense, what do you think a hybrid is? It's just another word for chimera. And then you're not really chimera after you procreate and create children. Adam and Eve were chimeras in a sense until they had children and the children were humans.
Yes. There's a lot of talk about in the transhumanization of modern warfare. I was wondering why they would start to develop human weapons, in a sense, if we're getting closer to a period where wars are becoming well, not the necessary tool for sorting out Earth business.
Oftentimes when a society goes through a shift like this, and especially in our case where we're warmongers, as a society, we have been bred that way. The idea is that when we know the end of war is coming, we symbolically reflect an arming of ourselves manifesting physically as guns and weapons of mass destruction, but are just symbols of our own armor, preparing ourselves for a higher form of war where those kind of weapons are irrelevant and unnecessary. Then we will disarm all our weapons together, publicly.
But how would that go about if the state of weaponry is of a hybrid nature? Because well, you're saying that you would disassemble all of the.
Not us, you.
Yeah. As a collective, the humanity will choose to disassemble their arms.
Specifically, you as individuals in this conversation have much more responsibility than you are taking upon yourself. It's what you don't understand. You forget because you are invited to be a Men in Black and you higher self says, no, I'm not ready.
Yes, I understand that concept, but when the state of the warfare becomes a more hybrid human-animal or human-robotic nature.
Oh, I was saying that you can make weapons, but if you evolve with grace, you will never use them.
Okay.
If you can always choose the path of destruction, but I believe your planet has chose that 7 times already, and it's being the 7th time, the 8th turn around. We really hope you get the picture.
Yes, I hope so too. In the sense of the animal and human hybridization program.
Not really sure what you're referring to.
The scientific experimentation of transhumanization.
Are there a specific animal, or where is this happening, or what country is doing it?
All over the world. It's happening everywhere.
Do you have any examples of animals?
There have been many findings of strange beasts that have been washing up on the shores, specifically around.
Hybridized by scientists.
Yes, but I mean, when we get to a state of global consciousness accepting that this is happening, we're then going to be faced with a overcoming of the
if there is
the sovereignty of these
going on around the whole world, it is happening in the dark, very, very secret, only with those who completely agree consciously.
Yeah, but I mean, when we get to a state of allowing this
allowing it.
No. I mean, when the global humanity accepts that this has happened, we are then going to be faced with understanding that these beings also have their own sovereignty and that have their own
You have
energetic.
to realize your own sovereignty first before you'll ever see them. How would they even want to come into your society when you say you're free, but all of you are prisoners within your own limitations? You can't even accept yourselves most of the time. You're always trying to be something else. It's good to be a higher version of yourself, but it is dangerous to deny who you are in the present moment.
Fascinating. If we were to face you face to face and reached out our hand to give you a handshake or to give you a hug, how would you feel about that?
It would be fine. Usually we don't hug because it, to use your words, hybridizes you and you would remember it more.
So what would we actually remember then?
You could remember just talking to us. Some people have stories of their car breaking down in the middle of an inner city or something, and a group of men dressed in black with looking Jewish with big beards come out, pop the hood, and row their hand over it, and fix the car and run back into the building. These are men in black as well.
Fascinating.
Do you have any tips for me to get to Hawaii? I'd love to go to Hawaii.
I believe the transportation to Sweden would be flying.
I've been flying in my dreams so far, but
Well, you want to go there in your day, right? So you're not going to get there closing your eyes. You actually have to, get up off your ass and go.
I have another question. What is is Grukfagneer aware of all of you?
Of course, they needed our clearance to even talk to any humans.
Wait a minute. Your clearance. So you guys are actually the controllers of this world, of this planet?
No.
Then why would they need your clearance?
They needed your clearance. Do you understand who we are? We are you. You are the controllers of the planet, if you wish to use that word.
I understand now.
We represent humans and all beings who reside on this planet.
So we gave our power to you.
No.
To be like.
Don't give your power away. You can't.
No. I meant like we gave you guys the responsibility because we.
Yes, somebody needed to do it.
Right. I understand. Okay. I understand. No, which is fine. I think
In
it's
some days, the men in black were called. How do you pronounce it? Rosicrucian.
Oh, Rosicrucian. Yes.
Rosicrucian? I don't remember.
Also, were you guys a part of the Knights Templar in ancient times?
The Knights Templar. The Men in Black were not the same as the Knights Templar.
Okay. What is your connection, the Men in Black's connection with the Illuminati? Do you have close ties? Do you work together?
There are Illuminati representatives in the Men in Black, yes.
Okay. Are all of you working together to benefit the planet, always?
Yes.
Do you have it?
So were and are currently the Illuminati.
Do any of you...
And alongside with Freemasons.
Yes.
And The military-industrial complex is coming along. They're on their way.
Yes.
They're learning slowly. They're scared about losing their power. That's
Control.
only natural. So they arm themselves and get nervous and stiffer. Right before they get too stiff, petrify, and then when they decide to move again,
Yeah.
all the clay that had dried as their skin has broken off, shed, and they are a new being.
Have many of them trying to find you or try to control you? Many of your...
They don't really control, they manipulate.
They try to, yeah.
Sometimes it's in very negative ways most humans perceive, but it is only for the greater good even though.
Yeah.
It is just a matter of not choosing to use their
Methods.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks.
If you don't prefer them. If you do prefer them, by all means consider continuing those painful cycles that most humans live in their whole lives and all of their existences on Earth.
The average human doesn't understand it. That's why we're here. We're here to shed light on it. We're here to wake up the masses. This is why we're here. We thank you for your assistance. That's why we need any suggestions, ways that we can still bring more of this out. Wake up humanity, and to of self-empowerment. You know, of stop the killing. No more war. No more wars. We're pushing toward that. It's going to take a lot. When the people lead, the leaders will follow. But still, they need to even empower themselves.
If you build it, he will come.
We got a lot on our hands, but this planet, we all live on it. We all a part of it.
Yes, there is a story.
We are all drawn to the center.
Story that I will tell you very shortly right now, and then I will go about the Tower of Babel of the city of Babylon. There are many dimensions currently. You are entering into the 5th dimension, most of you. You are already in it. You are now learning how to perceive your life in 4th density. You're in the beginning stages of it. Anyway. There was once a great city of Babylon, where all the wisdom of all the worlds of all the galaxy were collected, from beings of this planet and beings from all around the galaxy. They built a beacon, an antenna to the universe. They called it the Tower of Babel in the books. They built it into the clouds, out of the atmosphere. Their technology was so advanced. They built it out, closest to the sun, so they could see Earth from the top of the temple as if they were above it. Then eventually this top dome, this top sphere, became a colony on its own. And eventually the royal family moved there, stayed there, hid from the true kingdom, receded into their own garden of pleasure with their family and their loved ones, and one day decided to take off detach from the tower. And they did not realize at the time that the entire balance of the Earth would go out of alignment because of this. Therefore, hence Atlantis fell into the ocean, and the entire world was covered with a great flood. King Poseidon and his family still live today on the moon that used to be the top of the Tower of Babel.
Poseidon, King Poseidon, did he
You
come
can
from
also
this?
call him Zeus. They are the
Is
same being.
what race is this of extraterrestrials? What's it? What do they call themselves?
You people decided to call them gods, unfortunately for you.
Right, right.
That is why they had so much what you would perceive as power.
Right.
Status. You gave them your freedom in exchange for a service that overstayed its welcome.
Yeah, I was
I
fascinated.
know now that was one story that is a perspective that can shed some light on certain things. Thank you
so
for your
much.
time. Thank you. I appreciate it, Brian.
Thank you,
And
my friend. Much
all
love.
who have questions and all who still have questions, trust yourself. Remember, yourself is where all the answers truly lie, in your own heart. So I will leave you now in peace. Goodbye.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome
All right.
back, Dog.
Nick, where were you? Where'd you go? What'd you see?
All over, man.
Pretty cool.
I was just kind of checking out some things, checking out what he was talking about, checking out what you guys were talking about.
Yeah. That's
because I
fascinating.
can just now I can just astral go wherever I want. I can go in their body if I want, but I don't really need to because I'm already in this one, and this is the only avatar I really need.
Yeah. This is a good-looking one too.
You should see my other body. This one's weak and pathetic compared to mine.
Nah, man.
You humans are like, what do you call them? Like, kind of like rabbits. At least some of you are.
Hey, a lot of women would be disappointed if you left.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I've been trying to find a date for weeks and nobody ever wants to hang out with me. Weeks. Just kidding. I've only really been here for like 3 days, but ever since I come, all the girls seem afraid of me. Do they know I'm an elf?
Awesome.
Yeah, that was fascinating just to learn a little bit more, actually a lot about the Men in Black, you know, and how what our fears are, and how that, you know, it really is they're just protectors of information, but also to share it, and if we're ready, they're protecting us away from ourselves, you know, letting us, when we're ready, to take command, you know, take charge. So it's really cool.
I just deneuralized all of you.
It's pretty cool. What kind of crystal is that?
I don't know. I never really looked it up.
Wow.
Its name is Evandriel. It's Elvish.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And you just got it. Now I'm getting something.
That is no Orkhorn.
Yeah, I hope I get the crystal before Wednesday.
The Misty Mountain, whatever they say. It's such a good. I want to learn that dwarf song. It reminds me of Era.
Have you heard
Oh, the one from The Hobbit?
mystical mountains calling through Dungeon Sea?
No, damn it! I can't get the beat in my head.
So
I gotta watch it again. I gotta buy it. Then I gotta see Desolation of Smog. Does he actually get destroyed?
Hmm.
That'll be ruining it for you.
I was just starting watching over The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship last night. I don't even think what happened. I think I fell asleep or couldn't keep watching, and he didn't even get out of the Shire yet. I have a long way to go.
I did the same thing with Game of Thrones last night.
Yes, I watched yesterday some of Unexpected Journey. I watched Twilight, the last one in the battle. It was pretty cool. And I realized vampires were blood elves. And werewolves were wood elves.
Oh!
And what are they? The Voltari. That's like, what do they call it in this world? The Vatican. You know, they're actually Vatican members, all of them.
Who are?
Voltari.
Interesting.
It's actually funny that
You
you
learn
say
how
that.
there's many Illuminati in the Freemason ranks.
They're working in the Vatican, yes.
Yes, they work in the shadows.
I figured that. How do
Have
we
you
bring
seen the
about...
statue of the reptilian eye? The
Out of
big
the-
one, bigger than the pine cone in the Vatican courtyard. Have you seen it?
I've seen the pine
I
cone.
have seen this.
Tell me about the
We're gonna
13th
have to
fam...
show you this. Do you not see it? Let's just perhaps change this for 1 second. Alright, so we're gonna go and out.
Infinite. That's wild. Ah, interesting. Wow, so that's in the Vatican then.
It's right in the courtyard, can't you see?
Fascinating. Why did they decide to put that icon there for public display?
Well, there's many reasons for what this thing is. There's many purposes for it, but
Is it a
have you
communication
ever heard of the
device?
movie The Sphere?
Yes.
This is that sphere.
Fascinating. Is it a
But there are
communication?
more meanings to this than you could possibly imagine. It is an amplifier. It is a functional machine.
Wow. Fascinating.
It is a sentient being to itself.
Who built that? Or what groups of...
The dwarves.
The dwarves like to take credit for everything.
It does look like it's at least helped by the dwarves. The mechanics inside looks very dwarven, but there's also other entities that probably helped with the manufacture of that particular guardian.
Fascinating.
There's actually
Oh!
it's very similar to a there's a creature on a game called Skyrim where that looks very similar to that, and it expands into a sentient guardian being, but it also rolls around on its own for increased maneuverability. It looks very similar to one of those actually.
That's fascinating.
The hell was that? Looks scary.
The 13 families. I had a question about that real quick. These families, Who?
There's 13 of them. I wasn't aware.
I'm not sure exactly. Maybe that's what I've heard.
Well, there is. I just forgotten.
Well, the 13 families. I was wondering the reptilian, the full blood, or the 13th member. Tell me about this one. Are you aware of him?
The 13th member of what?
Of the families of a member. Is it a full blood reptilian?
Well, he is partly reptilian. I'm not really sure how much you know.
How much is he aware that he is reptilian?
He is aware that he is hybridized with it.
Okay, so he was born as
What
a
are you
human?
talking about?
What's that?
What exactly are you referring to? Which 13th member are you talking about?
At least one of them that it's a full blood, meaning he is full reptilian. Isn't there one that walks this earth that's actually a full blood, what we call reptilian?
Full blood. Yes, there is a reptilian. Not really sure exactly what you're mentioning here. You have to be more specific.
I was just asking for a confirmation if that was true or not.
Well, you're not really telling me what you're talking about there.
Just what I've heard. I was just wanting to confirm it. I've heard that that there's an actual, not a human that was raised human, but an actual full-blood extraterrestrial reptilian.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
What was I looking for originally? Besides for some beautiful wood elf ladies.
Are you looking for a date?
She looks a little familiar to me.
She does.
Shandok,
Yes.
you said you watched Twilight. Do you know any vampires?
Well, I wish to meet some. But that's what I'm looking at right now, blood elves.
That's vampires.
Interesting.
So how do you feel when you're integrating with Nick? Or are you just borrowing his energy? I mean, working with him?
This body is 3 in 1, you have to understand.
Yes. But didn't you tell me if you're in this body too long, you become him fully?
What is your question?
So my question is, do you prefer to come through Nick and to integrate with him, meaning, how do I put this? You're not, when you're coming through Nick right now, is Nick's giving you permission, but are you guys then actually merging as a oneness then? Is your consciousness and Nick's totally merging then?
I think he went off.
That's
Yeah,
the
he's
question.
not here.
That's what I was wondering. Isn't that fascinating though? Because it's like first it's Nick's there, and then all of a sudden he starts talking, and then I'm wondering at what point, you know,
Yeah, basically,
like Nick's allowing him to come through, but
No,
like it's kind of scary too in a way, isn't it?
basically Nick left his body and the elf came into his body by
Yeah.
agreement. So Nick is not really there, but they are still connected. They have always been connected, right?
I see. So it's more of a conscious
Hey
level.
guys,
Yeah.
I dropped out, so I need everybody to leave the room.
No,
So
it's live. It's still
Yeah,
live.
but I can't stop the broadcast until we all leave the room.
Yeah.
We could just start another one in a few minutes, or I can open one and I'll do another one. I want to keep this one shorter anyway, because I just want that one channel to come through this one video.
All right.
And then I'll make another one in a few minutes and post it if you guys want us to keep going.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, well, someone post something somewhere. We'll just keep going.
Yeah. Just I appreciate if you just leave the room just so I can turn this video off.
Okay, dokie, artichoke.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
But not everyone here may be still here.
Well, let's hope they are. Sabrina,
guess
Jasmina, there you go. Dan,
Dan is here. So
Young.
he,
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you guys just drop out and I'll make another one. Dan.
Yo, hello.
Oh yeah, can you guys just drop out so we can end this call?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm currently trying to help people with their understanding of the teams and colonies as well. So
Oh, yeah.
I may be in the next one, or I might not. So if
Yeah,
not,
it'll be
I
a
shall
few
see you
minutes. I
later.
gotta relax for a few minutes.
That's cool. I'll probably see you later on anyway, dude.
All right, dude.
All right, have a good one.
All right, peace.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye, man. Appreciate it.
you.
Can you just drop out for him? There you go. All right, everyone. We're still live, so thank you so much for visiting. If you want a private channeling session, my Skype name is Nick333James, and my email is Nick.333. Damn it. Scratch that. My email and PayPal is the same, nick.james333@gmail.com. My Skype name is Nick333James, and I do private sessions. I accept donations all the time. I appreciate it. The more donations I get, the more I can do this. So I appreciate everyone helping me out. You've been really awesome in supporting me. And thank you, and I love you all. Damn it, Brian! You're supposed to back out. Brian! Brian? Hello? I can't end the call when you're in here. Hello? Damn it. Brian. Brian! What are you doing in here, buddy? I gotta end the call. I just had it.
Jumped in. All right, man.
All right, so contact me. Give me donations, please. The government in this country is trying to take my children from me.